Here we go. KB, 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 man. When I call your name later today, hopefully there's some good momentum, right? Good buyers coming in. Those bulls. 30 seconds on my side. 30 seconds. Guys, if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to hit that thumbs up. Don't forget, support the channel. It does mean a lot. I do appreciate it. Everyone tuning in, watching on from all across the world. Right now we have over 200 people in the building. FRZA. Yes, yes, yes. Here we go. Guys, trade smart, trade setups. Another beautiful day. Really nice. It is strong to start. I don't want to be too hasty though. It is the first minute, so I'll be waiting patiently. I will be waiting patiently. It's the first minute. We got a high of 60 and a low of 46. It's holding relatively well so far. We got a new low at 42. This one does move fast. High of the current candle is 54. Buyers, but somebody's selling a little bit of shares here. Okay, 60. Oh my god, my order's not getting filled. Look at that, look at that. Thinkorswim, this is not the day for that, please. I wonder if I should come to 25. We got a high of 67. I guess it's a good thing I'm recording both screens. That way I can have some evidence. If you're now tuning in on YouTube, guys, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Support the channel. Watching for entries, waiting patiently.
Okay.
We got another stock moving. SNOA. SNOA is moving. Hmm. Hold on. Are we gonna see a new low? Watching FRZA here. A couple of scratch trades so far.
Huh. I made $3 on that first one. That's funny.
I think we might see
Getting crushed on my swings, but eventually they'll turn around, little fuckers.
some new lows here. Kind of waiting to see what it wants to do. There's 52. FRZA curling up a little bit here. A couple of scratch trades for me to start the day there. A couple of scratch trades. We got two stocks. SNOA is pushing up. We got a high of 65. Let's see how we continue to do here. Hmm. This thing is having a hard time, man. Also, I feel like I might be a little too heavy, so I'll come to 2,500 shares for now.
Damn it, come on, WSRC, you little
Kind of need a
fuck.
reset on my charting here. Time 36.
Fucking, literally, just straight up. That's annoying as hell.
Hold on.
What kind of hot garbage is this? E-Trade's acting stupid this morning.
The other stock is looking fairly good. SNOA, but it is coming up into the 200 EMA. Seems like this thing might want to break down here. I wouldn't be surprised. Are we gonna get new lows? It held. I thought it would have probably broke down to like 40, but it held. Okay. There's 2 minutes remaining in the 5-minute candle. Can we get back over 60? Okay. But no buyers, no green. So a bit of a misread there watching the tape. It's looking promising. But can we get back over 60 and see a push 65? 62, 63. Couple of cents there. Can we start to open up again? Also, I need to mute this thing. I don't want to hear it. Yeah, 64. Didn't attempt that last trade down there at 52. I thought it was a little risky, but it held fairly well. It's going to turn out to be a good trade. I want to see new highs if possible. We are flat, so we got to be careful. We got a new 5-minute candle. There's a little bit of indecision, but I'm feeling like we should still get that high of day. I'm hoping we can get that new high of day. Waiting patiently, waiting patiently. $59. Halt down is at 208. The halt up is at 312.
Whatever, that's not bad. 59 versus 56. Come on,
SNOA bouncing, FRZA bouncing slightly as well right here. I'm going to look to attempt scalps. I think the new high of day might just happen. It might be brewing here. Well, immediately back down. Not quite. 56, 55. I won. I'll wait and see. Let's just watch. I'll be patient here. I hope it gives it entry. That's all I hope, is that I can be in before the move happens. I want to also take a position with size. You know, can I get to 9,000 shares in a position here? If I can get a great entry. I'm gonna take it just in case it holds. I mean, we'll see. Will we hold here again? Oh, no, still holding. Will we show our hands here? It's trapping. Are we trapping? Watching for the high of day.
That was the spot to buy it right there. I knew I should have
What's
fucking
it gonna
took that.
be?
Hesitated. Definitely will take 8.5 if we get a bidder.
Watching for high of day. Come on, let's see something more. Can we pull away? Can we pull away? Should have took more size down there, man. It didn't give the new high of day. I mean, it's the trade idea is still in play though. I'm gonna put out an order here to buy shares. If those orders get filled, we'll see. I don't know. One of them got filled. I expect a new high day here. But what just happened at VWAP? This should make a new high day. So, what will it be? Ay, ay, ay. I needed to go heavy at 48, man. But, you know, I thought it probably would have went even lower. So I didn't want to just go full size immediately. I wanted to scale in 7,500 between, let's say 44, 45, and highs. Where are those bulls? KB, KB. This is that moment of truth, man. We got the new 5-minute candle making the new high. It's now or never. The stock is looking beautiful. Will we see it? Will we see 75, 80, 85, 90, break of 3?
Alright,
Short
so
sellers covering. It's losing its steam, man. It might come back down again. Although, we'll have to see how low it wants to go. I'm gonna just put out orders just because. I mean, I don't know if they'll get filled, but why not?
there to
They'll be
buy
one of
right
my more
there.
shares. If it
Then the
goes
other
up,
buy
I
up
want
here.
shares, right?
Save
If
myself
if this
only
breaks a
30
high day
bucks.
and I'm not in, I will be buying it. Doesn't matter. So I'm watching here as well. If the volume gets in right here, I'm buying it here, and I'm looking for the next move up. What will it be? There's a few buyers there at 60. More coming in. Are we on to something here? Fill at 61.97, 62 entry. Are we on to something here? Doesn't look like it. Those shares are getting filled. Oh, still holding. This candle has very light volume and we're 3 minutes in. So more than likely it pulls back before it goes. If not, it probably, I mean, I don't know, we'll see. It's always so hard to tell. It's what makes day trading risky and of course, very difficult.
4 to 8.
Even when you think the breakout should have happened, the breakout is nowhere to be seen. The other stock is moving up.
11.5 today. 11.5 is the target for WSRC.
The stock also hasn't been strong ever since the first move pre-market and into the open. That's a decent pop. 55. I still think high of day should happen here. Time. I would say, can we see it in the next 3 minutes?
I think I'm not going to watch him for a while today. today, we'll just focus on come on, let's get over 9.3. Come on. This thing could get cruising over 10 here and blast off. Trust me on that. So we sold half at 9.2. Now I can hold the rest without fear. If it wants to just take off, well, I still got 5,000 shares. We're happy about it. Damn, I gotta remember to start off smaller on these. Fuck. Just lost 15. 24. That's a bunch of horseball. Alright, well. Get back $25 just like that. I might buy this dip actually. 835. Kind of E-Trade is acting slow today. That's why I'm losing. Because there's no way I should have got filled at fucking 25. That was ridiculous. I should have got filled at 22. That is ridiculous. So E-Trade's acting slow. Okay. You also got to be cognizant of SPY. Because today's one of those days it could just be going way down. 8-8. Mm. China. Missed the dip. That was a good dip. Missed that one. Fuck. Yeah, that was sweet. I was waiting for the first 5-minute candle to make a new high over 260. That would have been sweet. Oh, look at that. Fake out. Damn. Into a halt down. Looks like it's trying to halt down. Careful right there. You buy something like that and it halts down, you're in trouble. Hmm. I missed another one. Should be long right here. 63 versus 43. Maybe I was supposed to miss it. Forgot to scan OTC stocks this morning. Running behind today. Man, look at that stuff. Write it down. COMB. GDB. WLA. Interesting. That's a good one. 117. 777. That's a good one. Huge volume too. Oh, never mind, not that huge. But we'll write it down. Probably need to take this dip around here around 8.6, 8.7. HT, okay. Take a dip. Definitely nothing. I played this one in the past and I can't get rid of these arrows. Kind of annoying. Hmm. I'm not sure if I want to buy it here or lower. I feel like if I buy it here, it'll instantly go lower. I'll be mad I didn't buy it lower, so I don't know. If it goes sideways long enough, I'll just add 9. We'll add it lower. Oh, that was the dip right there. Son of a biscuit. I missed it by a second. Okay, I was wrong. That wasn't the dip. 8.4. Yeah, I can't do Oh, that's too crazy. Let's just do 500. I think this is a good trade here. Take 8.6. Take 8.5. No, we'll take. We'll see. 8.3. Alright, that's what I got filled out in on, right? Yeah, that's sweet. Look at that fill, 8.34. That's sweet. Obviously, my stop would be 8.3. It's getting a bit scary here. Take it off if I get another bid. Get out of that. 8.35. I was scared, didn't it? Looked like it was about to go down for sure. Oh, okay, then it goes up. That's how they trick it. That's why it's a China stock, you know? They're good like that. See, American market makers, they must be lazy compared to these Chinese market makers because these fuckers know what they're doing. Every time, look at that. Got me out the last second. Alright, let's see. This is got 8.3 here. COMS look like it's due for a bounce. To me, it does. Bounced way down. Looks like it's due for another bounce. What's the high day here? 585. 585. That's possible. 585 versus 575. Now, this is what I wanted to see right here. Might have to add this dip. Guess that's not what I wanted to see. Still gonna risk lower down. Interesting. Alright, well, if they spike it back up, I'll take the higher low. If they just want to shoot it straight up, I'll miss the ad, but I'm not fixing to buy it right here. It looks like it could just wash clean out. If the market had been going for a while, fine. But OTCs are just starting to heat up. I'm not going to be the guinea pig for OTCs. How did it move last time? What is this? 1018. Low spikes, washes out all day. Nice wedge, takes off. So what are we doing right now? Low spikes. Nice if it put in a good wedge. I'm not gonna be mad at the slow market today because we have that big Fed meeting, and that's usually what makes it a tad bit slow. Probably shouldn't have even traded Nasdaqs today. Matter of fact, let's see what RT's doing.
And I'm comparing the day, to this point in time, right? By 10:17 yesterday, what were the opportunities looking like versus 10:17 today? Because of course, none of us can tell the future, and something can come up in the next 10 minutes that makes this day an incredible day, maybe the best day of the year. So you can't really rule out the day until the day is over. But SNOA has crawled back up, by the way. I'm not sure if any of you guys are watching that one. There's break of 200 at 25. There's 28 on the ask. I'm not touching it. I feel like it's a little too tricky. If it breaks over the highs at 34 and maybe consolidates and gives a pattern, maybe it's a little bit better for SNOA. It doesn't look bad, This stock also has a pretty good daily chart, but it's been a little weak today. A lot of big wicks, you know. In terms of context, of course, it's been, if we look at pre-market and everything else, it's up. It's up 30%. It's somewhat strong, yes, but the many wicks that we saw earlier in this area here, and then over here, again here, these weren't so bad, but then this one, not good. A lot of times I'm trying to buy the high and sell a little higher, but when the wicks are coming in, it's basically the candle not going back to the highs. We drop and then we close lower. So you're buying slightly off the highs, trying to sell into the highs, but then you end up just selling lower, kind of like the last trade we just took. In fact, exactly like the last trade we just took. The high was like 75 or something. I bought 66, 67. It just went lower. And I believe that entry is a great entry. I believe that entry is probably yield me, I think, like 15% to maybe actually more. It's probably gave me like
All right, this is looking
gave
good.
me like 25-30% of my total gains. It doesn't work every time, of course, and in the situation where it doesn't work, exactly what just happened. The stock just flushes down. So you also have to make sure you're selling very quickly if you're buying into that type of area. If it's not going, and this is why I'm kind of disappointed in myself that I bought it back. I already sold because it was taking too long to bounce. When these stocks are strong and they start to move up aggressively, they do not hesitate. They do not wait. So why am I hesitating and why am I waiting? It just goes. They go. They go. They go. The best trades are instant resolution, instant follow through. So if that's not happening, I need to be out of the trade. I'm gonna take it very slow for the rest of the day. As mentioned, I want to make sure that I read the story that the market is putting forth, and I think so far right now that it's saying, hey, today is not as strong as the last week and a half. So I think we got to be careful, you know, as a collective. We got to make sure we manage the risk. Of course, continue to manage the risk. Continue to be disciplined towards A quality setups and A quality trades. So you know, it's always a good reminder too as to why when there is momentum, we have to be grateful, whether or not we performed well or not. You know, I think being grateful for momentum is something that we should all, you know, look forward to. You know, maybe it's a day that you took off and there happened to be a stock that went to $50, you know, from 5 to 50. Okay, you weren't there, but you know, just you know, you're thinking about what it does for the market, what it does for the bulls as a whole. It brings about so much aggression and just, you know, the traders are so ready to go. You know, everyone is maybe using bigger size and adding into their positions instead of just maybe one in, one out. They're accumulating bigger positions, and before you know it, there's more volume, and it's like this
These stocks want to
snowball that
test
just
you. They
goes,
want to
and
say,
short sellers are getting
I mean, they
caught
want to see
and
if you have the
getting
balls to
trapped, and
hold through your
before
stop.
you know it, the follow through is amazing for
Just when
a
you
few
sell,
weeks, right?
that's when they go up.
Because when we
See?
had some stronger ones
They're
a few
not
months ago,
idiots.
it's like just off of that
They
one
know. They're
stop,
like,
it
well,
seemed
it's
like
only me and this couple other
the
people in here.
follow
Let's
through was
shake
just
them
there
out.
for a few weeks
Eventually, they say,
until it
well,
just
we can't shake
finally
these
kind
guys
of
out,
died
so
out.
let's just go.
Like that emotion kind of came
That's
back
the
in.
game. Or you can do what
Once
RT
again,
does and
guys,
just
end
try
of the
to
day.
scalp
This is what I'm
everything
watching at,
so you don't have to
end of
play
the
their
day.
game.
You know, it's not looking
You
bad.
can't scalp
We got to be
OTCs though,
careful with those stopping
because
widths.
there's commission for one and they're slow for
I
two.
don't want to see it break above 34, hold above that level, and for me, that's where I would start to look for
But my
possible
target's
trades. If it starts to
definitely
flag and give something clean, and I would use
11,
smaller size too,
12.
just to be, you know, on the safer side.
So 8 to 12, that's
If you're
almost
watching on YouTube
50, 60,
and you
50,
are
60%
in
yield.
need of a scanner, be sure to check out Momo Pro. They are a sponsor of the channel. It's the scanner that I use every single day, right?
Glad I caught this OTC on
We had, which stock was
live
that that
too,
we traded?
because
I already
I'll be able
forgot.
to, this is good reviewing tape right here.
FRZA was
See
on
how
the
the dip
scan
might hold.
and was one of our
This is
lucky
the breakout level
poppers.
of 835. Notice how it's holding right above 835 now. Notice that.
FRZA, BNFT. How's that one looking? Oh, this was a buyout. Yeah, so FRZA, you know, be sure to check out Mometic, right? Momo Pro. I do have links in the description, and I can post a link right now as well. But if you guys check it out, right, the full package is $37, um, and you can get a 25% discount using code Relentless for 6 months. I do have 2 videos on the YouTube page going over the platform and the layout. And this is what I'll do, right? This is what I'll do right now. Right? I'm gonna hold myself accountable. Today, the monthly recap will be out, and this will be out before 1 p.m. Tomorrow, the Mometic uh, update video going over some new
Saw how
features
I
will
missed
also
that,
be
dude.
out. Right? Guaranteed. 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 Failure is not an option. So failure is not an option here.
Just
And we can
about to buy.
enlarge this by if what we just want this to, you know, take up the
It's
entire
rough.
screen and see
But
more
you got to see me
stocks.
miss it live, and you
Which
got
I
to see
don't
the
do because then,
thesis.
you know, I
We have a
could
wedge
potentially miss the
here.
halt scan, like MLPO was halted a couple minutes ago.
Hmm.
How's it looking?
Would like to have like
Well, volume was
5-9.
dead on this one. We had a 5 symbol. Let's see. Looking for halts. HUDI was halted earlier. This one really liked volume though. IVA, GTX, that was an hour ago. I mean, this one wasn't bad, but the volume also wasn't good. Is this just not updating, or is it at 763? Oh, it looks like it is. I don't know. But yeah, the volume here is way too light. VEEE. This was one from a while ago on the watch list. VEE. This was the charting for VEE in August 12th. This thing gapped from 375 to a high of 840. Then the next day proceeded to go to 880 and then sold off. How did I do on that day? The 12th of August. Let's see. Trader view, calendar, August. I better have been green, please, with a move like that. Oh, okay. I actually remember this day. I was up 374, but I took a oh yeah, oh I took a big loss on that. I remember this. I was up 1K on the day, and I said, okay, I'm gonna go where I've never went before,
Uh,
and I sized up to 3,000 shares, and I think I took a high risk trade, and I lost big. Watch this. Well, maybe the loss wasn't as big as I remember, or I'm thinking about the other day. There was one day when I took $1,000 loss. Where's that loss? Somewhere in here. Sometimes when you have something that works well, you know, you just it's like it's kind of hard sometimes to. This is one of the bigger losses, 336 and then 196. It's sometimes hard to implement change
606. Okay.
because trading is such a delicate thing. You know, something that even though it might be minor, can throw off the entire system. You know, and so that's what I did on these 2 days. If we go to the calendar, I had a nice groove, you know, trading well. And then these 2 days, I took on an insane amount of risk in specific areas, and it cost me. SNOA going up. I was green 1K on both of these days. The trader view stat isn't really showing it well on this. But I think I was up over 1K. I want to believe I was. In fact, I definitely was. And then likewise with this day. Oh, wrong month. Calendar. Likewise with this day. The other stock is hitting 29. I mean, just awful. Awful. Boom. Brutal. This is that loss. 1K. $1,100 loss. And we made 590. And then we proceed to lose 430. Just big swings. I mean, like right today I would wish I could be up 590, right? It goes to show you, you know, what type of momentum we had on those particular days where it didn't bother me to lose that much money because of the potential opportunity that was there. A day like today, if I happen to have a $500 loss, I'm doomed. Titanic, max loss day. So for me, that's how my max loss system. I think I'll make a video talking about that as well. Like my max loss system is not rigid to one day. It's situational, right? If if I start tomorrow, you know, and I take 3K shares, the stock as soon as I buy the stock just flushes down and I'm red 1K. That's not a max loss day yet, because I'll say okay, if that was unfortunate, yes, but does this day have any more opportunities, right? I kind of want to have a clean slate. Okay, let's put that loss aside. You know, it might take a few minutes, but you know, let's put that loss aside. And is there an A quality setup that's happening or is about to happen? And that's kind of where I give myself the backstop. Okay, I'm down 1K. I know I don't want to be like very red, like in terms of 1,500, 1,800, 2K, 3K. So I might say, okay, you know what? We might give ourselves some wiggle room. Let's do 1,300, 1,400 max loss. If I keep trading and I just can't see anything and I lose another 2, 3, 400 bucks, then we'll just call it quits and just come back the next day. Because at the end of the day, our best days ever start off very green and we just go higher into the green, right? So my max loss is very situational. On a day like today, if something starts to move and I make a little bit of money and I start to take on risk, like this stock right here, if this thing breaks 35, starts to take off, looks A quality, I take on a little bit more risk and it flushes down hard. On a day like today, if I go down like 300, that's it. Because it just, the day isn't really showing so much potential. You know, like look at this thing coming down again. So some people that might not be good for, depending on your level of discipline, I think.
Look at that, look at that.
If you're having issues respecting the rules and all these things, it might be better to have a system that's more rigid. Hey, if you're down 400, that's it. Doesn't matter. But it's like if you if you're in control mentally, it's the biggest thing. If you're in control mentally and you still feel fine despite the big loss, if you know that you're clear-headed and you're not emotional, and yesterday was a day like that. Yes, when I was down at 400, I've been down worse, but it's it's just knowing that I could have been green, I wasn't, and then the stock gives such a big move, I'm not in it. I surrender. you know that's the words I said. I'm done. It is frustrating at times, but that's why we love it, right? That's why we love trading, because it's not easy. It's hard, and it pushes us to our limits, and so we got to embrace it, right? When it's good and bad, we got to take the good and bad, and just appreciate what it is. Red or green, anything flat in between. So it's 10:30. I can stick around for another 30 minutes. We can do a little bit of a Q&A for anybody who might be interested on YouTube. If you guys have any questions. I'm like the FIFA commentator. Oh man. Marvin Tyler and Andy Gray. I think that was like from FIFA 11 to FIFA 12. Man, back in FIFA 11, Ronaldo used to just, like Cristiano, just used to be gliding across the field, man. Just ridiculous. That old Madrid team, man. Higuain. I think Angel was on the team back then, right? Di Maria. Um, of course, Sergio Ramos, Marcelo. I forgot who used to play right back. Can't remember. They had some nice players. Still have some good players now. Football, Madrid without a doubt. Football, Madrid. When the Nightbot blocks a comment, it's not allowing me to overturn it. Why does the Nightbot have more power than I do? Ay ay ay. Yeah, so Madrid by far. When it comes to American football, I like of course, the Giants, and although I don't really claim the Giants these days, the Saints. I used to really enjoy watching Drew Brees. Basketball, I'm a LeBron fan. Wherever LeBron go, I go. Whether it's Cleveland, Miami, or LA, doesn't matter. Um, I used to enjoy the Celtics back in the days with Garnett, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen. I thought that was one of my favorite teams, for sure. And then when it comes to, let's see, other sports, baseball, the Yankees. Although I'm not really too into baseball these days, or I guess was never really huge into baseball. Um, a little bit of background on RT here, sports background. Golfer, Tiger Woods, of course. Although these days he's not looking so good. Not seeing much hitting the scans. IVA was halted. How did FNGR do? We gotta talk to Crispy, I forgot. IVA, FNGR. It's still, this one is in such an interesting position on the daily chart. Like these type of stocks, almost all, if we look at all the stocks that we're looking at now, let's look at SONN from yesterday on the daily chart, right? Let's pull this up. I'm on single screen. SONN. Look at this thing over the last couple of years, couple of months, just selling off at the lows. We're curling off at the lows, right? Now, if we look at the one from today rather, FRZA, right? Actually, let's click it right here. FRZA. I believe the same thing. Yeah, sold off, curling off the lows. So when you have a stock like FNGR that's just on cruise control at the highs, it only takes one thing, a catalyst. Will we see breaking news of some sort that brings eyeballs, attention, money, right? Volume, volatility. For this to, get back to, let's say overnight it gaps from like 8 to, 950, then pre-market it gets up to like 10, and then into the open, boom. We zoom out. What's the next level up? The next resistance is at 13, over 13, next resistance 17, and we go from 10, 11, 12, and we just knock out all those levels over the day, and just, we have our pullback at lunchtime, then, we come back from lunch, and then it goes again. Those are some nice days, man.
You saw that. I put it at 0.0603 and it never hit that, but filled me.
Long
That's some bullcrap.
COMS. HUDI is moving a bit. Lighter volume, pushing up a little. HUDI, but really light volume. Our watch list stocks, ARAV having a hard time, FRZA having a hard time, EFSH from a few days ago. I don't think I posted a watch list today, did I? I might have forgot. Alerts. Yeah, I forgot. I think I'll still post it just for reference. I'll post it into the alert section.
See, it shouldn't have sold me there.
I
don't know what the hell. That was some trickery right there. I said 603.
I forgot.
And it fucking filled me at 607?
How's
Dirt.
EFSH looking on the daily? It's not looking so bad. Over 304, but it has to get back to 370. I'll put this one on there. EFSH. I gotta start coming here instead of going to my monitor screen for the continuation stocks in Discord. So I try to keep a list of all the stocks that we've traded over the years. Well, almost every day I try to write it. That way, if we're back testing
Straight
strategies,
trickery,
if
though.
we're coming in to see what was up, or just study if we're studying and we just need to see what was moving. It's good to have these stocks.
It never went
So
under
I can put everything that we
605.
really
How does it
traded
fill me at
today.
607?
Yeah.
And I set my stop at
RZA,
603. Trickery, man, trickery.
SONN as well.
Ooh, gotta write down.
Do we want to put AR?
Roll journal.
What's the other one? ARAV. I'm gonna put that one. They're in no particular order, so you can just go through them if you're ever in need, if you're back testing or anything like that. We got a few people in Gen 1, but it seems like their mics are muted. Raptor Green and Mike are in Gen 2. Ben in Gen 3. Everyone else is in the light audio section here. Slow day to this point, right? And also, I'll check in on YouTube to see if there's any questions coming in. Let's see. Am I full-time trading? JWB. Yes, I am full-time trading. We made decent money, but I guess we all do have some expectation, and I would have loved to do better, to have performed better this year. But I still feel like I gave it my best shot. So far the year, I'm around 50 grand, which is not terrible money. It's definitely decent, but it's still like when you hear I made $7,000 last week. Last week I made $7,000. Knowing that I could do that in 1 week, and I'm up 50 grand on the year. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't like it. The ebb and the flow of the markets, but part of my strategy is that I lose a lot of money. I've been getting a lot better at that though. This year, it'll be different for other traders who are more aggressive and less aggressive. But this year, I made, I think like 270,000 Wait, let's look at it, right? Instead of me guessing. Dashboard, and then I lost like a bunch. Let's see, reports view, detail, win loss, expectation. So this year I've made, this is, I think I imported for yesterday. I made 222,000, but I lost 170,000. Why am I losing so much of this money? You know, it's madness. If I could have made 222,000 and just lose 100,000, you know, I'm up 120 grand in a year. It's a much more attractive year, right? Look at last year, for example. Last year, I did not make this much, not even close, right? January 1st, 2021, December 31st, 2021. Last year, I made 111,000 and I lost 66,000. So I'm losing a lot of money, right? There's no way I should have doubled this side of things, and you know, even if this side had doubled and had went to like 120, you know, I lost 170,000, losing too much money. You know, it is a flaw in the strategy, but as mentioned, you know, with discipline and continuing to hold longer and those type of things, we're seeing less choppy trades and returning more of the gains. But you know, no excuse, no excuse. We got to be better. We got to improve. There's only one way to do it, right? We got to keep studying and keep working. So last year we ended around 44,000. So far this year, if we clear this, and then we go back to January 1st. So far this year, we are at 51,000. So we made more money than I made um, last year, which is good. And it is a bear market this year, which is even better, right? Because I did better in a weaker market. I also did not make money in January and February of this year at all. Look at this, sideways. So in 8 months, I've bested my last year's performance. It screams to me that I've gotten better. Um, but you know, I'm I'm not looking to settle here. If I can do 7,000 in a week, you know, and if I can have days where I'm making thousands of dollars, I just need to become more consistent. You know, I need to become more consistent at dominating on, especially on the hotter day, like a day like yesterday. It's why it's so hard for me. Like, it's hard. It is hard. It's tough because when I do that recap, and I did the recap, and I look back at that chart, I don't even know how in the world I ended red. I mean, the chart just looks so good. But you know how trading goes, right? It doesn't matter how clean it is. It doesn't matter how big the percentage gain is on the day. The stock could be up 500%. There are those days where you just end red. And yesterday, what happened to me? I was buying low on some of the trades on the pullbacks. The pullback went slightly lower, and I wasn't willing to buy it back lower. I just got out, and my analysis is off. What's going on? Previous days, and I got stopped out. I bought back lower, and I was able to catch the move. And having some red trades to start the day, you're not as confident, you're not as aggressive. You hesitated on a few trades you would have took otherwise, and then just like that, when you should have been very green up 1,500, you're red 700. The market is just so unforgiving, man. You would like to think, okay, at least if you're not gonna make money, at least end maybe down 100, up 100, plus 50 on the day. No, I'm down 700 on a day where I should have been very green. It's like it should never happen, but it happens. And so to be better is the only goal. To be better is the only goal. I'm not gonna show you guys last month because I wanna have some something there for the monthly recap, right? So we'll,
That's why trading's so hard, because everybody wants to make money. The only way you can make money is by accepting losing. Eventually, you figure out what works for you and what doesn't work for you. But by trying to win, you never figure out what works for you, because all you do is lose. You create your losses by wanting to win. But by accepting the loss, letting the stock do what it wants to do, having a stop and a target, as long as your stop and targets are good and your edge is good, it will play out for you. It will work. You may have a losing month, but you're going to have a winning year. It is hard to wrap your mind around. That's how casinos do it. There's days where people come in and they make $10,000, and there's 100 of those people, so they just lost 100K on the day. But think about this: the next day, or hell, even the whole month, they might lose 10 million on the month. And the next year or the rest of the year, they make 100 million. You know, casinos don't lose because they play the odds and let the machines work the odds out for them. The odds are in their favor. They will win. Sometimes they lose. That's the odds. 13% of the time, a casino will lose money. 87% of the time, it's not going to. It's going to take your money. That's all you got to know. So really, it's either you don't trust that you understand the patterns, so you're just hopping in and out, or it's the fact that you don't understand you have to be able to lose to win. Just dropped a little nugget there for anybody still watching this recording. We're pretty deep into the day, an hour at least. Stocks are slow, especially OTC a lot of times. The stop is low of day. I've accepted the risk. If it takes it out, so be it. Track it. That's the end of it. Mhm.
Maybe they can trade for a quick 30 minutes or an hour and still make gains. Um, it's a beautiful thing once you get to the other side and can become consistently profitable. So let me see what other questions you guys are saying. No Lambo, if we can start making a million a year, I told myself, and of course other streams of income. I told myself if I have over 10 million in cash in my bank accounts, I can then buy a Lambo. I'll probably go for the Aventador if I ever do, or maybe I probably lease one for a few days or a few weeks until I get tired of it. Because at the end of the day, those cars are not really practical, and unfortunately, this life is a hard life. It's a rough life in the sense that when you're going around with all these fancy things, it sucks. It kind of sucks, but you have to watch yourself because you'll have a target on your back. A lot of people you hear in LA and California in general, New York, they're getting robbed for your watches and it's fun to have these nice things, but it's kind of dangerous too. If you're driving a car like that, you can't really go certain places because people will start to follow you. I mean, it's kind of sad. It really is sad that you can't be free and not have. It's like we should be able to go out and not have to worry about watching our backs. But when you're wearing a nice watch and you got a nice suit and you're driving a fancy car, the Benz and the McLarens and all these things, the Maseratis, you got to watch yourself because unfortunately, and it doesn't matter where you are because guess what? Bad guys have cars too, right? You can be in a nice neighborhood, you can be at a fancy hotel. These bad guys, they have cars too, and they follow people around and they drive to nice areas, and so not to be stressing about worrying and watching ourselves, but it's kind of one of those things. What patterns are my favorite setup? I love the bull flag. I believe we might have gotten one on yesterday's SONN. Yes, we did. The bull flag. Let's clear the drawing set. Actually, no. I want to keep it in case the stock stays in play. Let's just remove some of these things from the recap. Okay, this is the bull flag, right? Picture, if I'm not sure if you're a new trader, but this is why I'm talking like this. Picture your country's flag, right? Wherever you are, whether you're in the States or abroad, or just picture your country's flag on a flagpole in the wind, right? You know, let's bring up my drawing skills here. I was an art major for about a half a second. Let's bring out the drawing tools. Picture your country's flag. Um, where are we? Okay, there we go. And we'll use lucky color blue today. Yeah, picture your country's flag and, on a pole. Alright? And so, or it can sometimes be a little triangular, depending on the type of flag it is. Alright, maybe it looks like that. This is the type of flag you see in Mario. Anyhow, when we go back to SONN here, alright, let's come back yesterday. Let's zoom in. You got to be able to see the pattern, right? This is also something that happens over time. Now, this isn't one green candle straight up, but you can envision it like this. We go up, and then we flag. The flag is essentially consolidation, a sideways
It's
trend,
disturbing.
right? It's a
5,000 at
sideways
6.
trend, and so it
25,
goes
which
up
is
like
nothing. I
this.
don't know why I'm giving shit.
And this is my favorite pattern by
$25.
far. I mean, I love
Crazy.
all the other patterns too, but there's nothing like a good old bull flag, I mean, you have your lows, and so there's two places you can be buying it. You can be buying it, and what I try to do is buy it low and high. You can buy it low down here, where you see, okay, it feels like it might be holding, and then you can also buy it high, all right? high of day is at 255. Over 255, we go all the way to a high of $3. It's the reason why I should have never lost money on this stock. It was too clean. So, yeah, this is a bull flag. Sometimes they'll be hard to see, and maybe it looks better on the 1 minute. Let's check it out on the 1 minute. Not much more obvious, I would say. And you look at it on different time frames too, because you can get this set up on the 1 minute, the 3 minute, the 5 minute, the daily. Like FNGR is a great example of a daily chart that's pushing a nice bull flag. FNGR, right? So let's bring up the drawing tools again. This time we'll go with yellow. So this thing shot up and essentially is giving a big flag here, right? Within the flag, there's even, you can say, a bit of an ABCD. It's not clean though, but there's a bit of an ABCD, which is like a W, right? I don't know if there's a charting right now. I can look around to find one. But there's nothing better when there's multiple setups going on, multiple patterns, and they're all aligning on the time frames. It's, where we see some of the strongest breakouts. So this is sideways. It's been a low flag though, because it came as low as like $5.
If we were to break
Sideways
8.7, I would buy
consolidation.
that and go ahead
And
and risk this
will
8.
we break, up or down? Netflix had a really good one. Look at this. Netflix. If we zoom out and we go back, I was doing some analysis here with my cousin yesterday. Let's get rid of that. Look at this channel. Look at this sideways consolidation here. Let's use horizontal lines. This is before Netflix really went on that tear, right? On the high of the channel, on the low, which way is it going to be? And then it breaks out of the channel. It breaks out. And so you can look at this as another big bull flag, right? You got to be able to see the pattern in there, right? See the pattern.
Huh.
Even up here, if you have a green candle that goes straight up, stocks don't work like that though. If we had a candle that just went straight up, it'll be more obvious. But so you got to kind of like envision it. Yeah, I can create a new drawing set, but I wanted to keep the trend lines on that stock SONN in case it's in play again soon. Is there any other questions? A 5-minute bull flag is like an ABCD on the 1 minute. Yeah, in some way. Sometimes they kind of align, But there's levels to this trading thing. There's levels. And so we got to keep getting better. We know about guys like Ross Cameron, 200 grand in one day, 5 million in 1 year. What I tell myself is that if I can make 50,000 in a year, I must be able to make $500,000 in a year. It's not that much different, but you got to be willing to take on the risk, especially when there's momentum. You got to just, instead of even buying 3,000 share blocks, you just got to go 10,000 share blocks, buy 3 times, 30,000 shares,
650K, so
and
that's
let that
something
break
you have
out.
to get out.
Let that break out. But you need a level of confidence, right? And you also need cash. If you don't have cash,
If they take out
it might not be
835, I'll
worth
be
it.
glad to get back into
You gotta have
no
that
big deal.
confidence to just go for it, because that's the only way you can reach that level ultimately. 30,000 shares, you catch a 50-cent breakout. I've caught big breakouts before, on some of those $1,000 days. a lot of those $1,000 days were catching, you know, big breakouts, 40 cents, 60 cents. I've done it numerous times, but not with, 10,000 shares, 20,000 shares, 30,000, 50,000 shares. You do that with 10,000 shares, you just made 5 grand.
Look at that. I had
You know,
5,000 shares right
you do
there.
that with
Christmas.
30,000 shares, you just made
100 bucks.
15,000. And the risk is real though. Do I want to potentially lose 20,000 at once? Because sometimes that unexpected expected flush can happen, and so that's the battle, right? Sometimes you don't want to be overly aggressive because being overly aggressive can actually cause you to blow up your account. So you got to have a good balance, and you got to be able to sense when it's really hot and follow through is good to go for
Yeah,
it,
that
and when to
650K
then
seller's
drop
dumping
back.
it now.
That way you can make the gains and then retain the gains, instead of making the money
We'll
and then
see.
giving it back. I
Does
remember,
it come
for
down?
me, it's been a struggle. It's been a struggle. It's been a struggle. That's all I can say. It's not easy. It never was. It never will be. How do you manage your entries and exits when you are trading in a consolidation with multiple consecutive trades in a row, a very short time frame? Uh, Yesterday SONN is also a good example of this. It comes down to confidence and expectations. Fear also plays a role, right? Because which side are you leaning more on? Are you more confident or are you more fearful? When I'm very confident in a position, like you guys will see it here, I do scalp a lot. I'm in quick, a lot of times in and out, in and out. But you guys will see me hold a few trades here and there longer. It's because based off of what I'm seeing, based off of the volume profile, based off of how the stock is moving, I feel confident that it should give a new high. It should open up from this area. Like today, I took a 7,500 share trade. That trade, or I think so. If I can find it. That particular trade, I felt confident. I was late. I was late to buy. I was right here. I was late to buy this trade. I took the dip at 47. This dip I wanted to take with more size, but fear. I was kind of fearful that it might drop. So this is at 9:43 a.m. FRCA. 9:43 a.m. on the 1 minute is right here. So this is how the stock is moving, and you gotta remember at this time this candle is red, right? This is what we're looking like. It's going down, right? And we could pull the 5 minute over for a little bit more context as well. It's going down. I don't know if this is gonna give a bottoming wick and crawl back up. For all I know, this red candle over here could be coming, right here, right? So that's the problem sometimes, right? That fear versus confidence. And so I'm in at 47 with 2,500 shares because I'm not comfortable enough to go in with more size. So I just take 2,500 as my starter. If it starts to work, I want to buy into it to then get the new high of day. After this happened, I thought for sure it was going to make a new high. And I thought it was going to happen soon. So what did I do? I bought two more times. Despite it going higher at 58, I'm like 58 is high, yes, because it went from 47 to 55, 58 in almost like four seconds, 3 seconds. It feels like it felt like it was quick. So by the time I even realized, holy smokes, it might start like this breakout might start to happen from the very bottom. By the time I'm buying again, it's already at 58 and 59. So this is late, but I'm still thinking we can break over 68 at the highs and go to 75.80. And so I bought. And to be honest, if I noticed this earlier and I can buy at 52, 54, I'd have took more shares. I probably would have took right now I'm trying to take more
Oh,
shares,
there's a
but it's
spread.
like
Not trading.
I'm kind of not getting the do I want to say I'm getting unlucky? I don't know how to really put it. It's hard. Trading is hard, and that's why it hasn't happened yet. But I have not, even on those bigger green days, I did not connect properly with big size, right? So I'm still waiting to see what that looks like.
Nah.
Anyways,
See
right
those little
here is
micro
where I felt
dips.
confident, and I thought for sure it was going to happen. But look at what happened afterwards. It came right back down. So that's kind of how I how I approach the trades at the highs and at the lows. It all comes down to confidence, volume, and indicators. What should the stock do? What makes the most sense for the stock to do? And what indicators are backing up my thought process? You know? Or I guess my thought process might even be backing up the indicators, whichever way you want to look at it. Right? Right here, I bought this area because I said, all right, our highest day volume is 5.7 million, and we're pulling
Oh,
back
gonna call it here.
on our red candles.